WBC has decided to place Terence Bud Crawford in recess at 47 pounds, and make his upcoming fight against Israel Madrimov also a WBC title eliminator. And I must say, it's looking more and more like the sanctioning bodies, the politics in boxing, are leaning towards making Terence Crawford be able to do whatever the hell he want to do when it comes to the 154-pound division. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video, turn on your notifications. Catch me live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7:30. I'm also live every Sunday morning with the Singing OG, KQKC Boxing Network, Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Now, oh, and if you want to debate, knockoutboxing86@yahoo.com is the email address. Hit me up. We can debate. Or you can just pull up to the channel while I'm live. Now, let's talk about what's been going on over the weekend as news comes out regarding Terence Bud Crawford. First of all, the 147-pound division seems to be allowing him to move on and allowing the division to move on, which is always good. I mean, it's the worst kept secret in boxing that Terence Bud Crawford is never coming back to 147 pounds. So quite frankly, I don't understand, as a fight fan and as an analyst, why they would put him in recess instead of just outright stripping him at the 147-pound division. He's not coming back, bro. Why are you giving him a status to where, oh, he can come back if he wants to at any time and he can go back down to 147? Terence Bud Crawford is going to do one of two things. He's either going to move up and try to be the 154-pound undisputed champion, or he's going to try to move up and fight Canelo Alvarez and get a big-time payday in that regard. That's what he's angling for, bro. That's what he's trying to do. Why would he come back to 147 to fight Mario Barrios? It makes no sense. So, for his career, to be honest with you, Mario Barrios is not a big enough name for Terence Crawford and the type of fights and the type of money that he's looking for at this point in his career, bro. So why put him in recess? So I don't understand that decision, but I am happy that at least the 147-pound division is going to get to move on, and Terence Crawford is going to be moving to the 154-pound division. So that's good for all parties involved. Mario Barrios is now a champion, and Terence Crawford is reserving the right to be able to come back to 147 and fight Mario Barrios or any other 147-pound champion if he so chooses, which, you know, I guess it's a good token thing to do. But he has no intentions of coming back, nor should he come back to 147. So it is what it is with that. The big bomb, though, the big news is what's going on in the 154-pound division. It seems like every single sanctioning body, every single one, is putting Terence Bud Crawford in a position to where he gonna have to do business with the PBC, and the PBC gonna have to do business with him. That's all. That's what all this shit is looking like, bro. And it's just, and if he wants to get undisputed, and if the PBC wants their fighters in big fights, they gonna have to come together. They gonna have to work together. They gonna have to make something work out. Because if you look at the lay of the land, the WBA mandatory right now is Jermell Charlo. He exercised his WBA status as champion recess. Ironically enough, the same status that Terence Crawford has if he wants to go back down to 147. But anyway, Jermell Charlo exercised his WBA champion in recess status, meaning he's the mandatory for the winner of Terence Crawford, Israel Madrimov. The WBO jumps in the fray. They put their interim WBO belt on the line for the Madrimov and Crawford fight, which is something they've never done. I've never seen them have a fighter where a fighter is fighting for a championship in another sanctioning body, and they put their secondary belt on the line for that other sanctioning body. I can't remember seeing them do it. If you've seen them do it before, put it in the comment section. Very odd behavior that the sanctioning bodies have going on, which lets you know that there's something brewing behind the scenes. Something's brewing behind the scenes between Terence Crawford, Israel Madrimov, Al Haymon, and Premier Boxing Champions. Gotta be, bro. Some sort of multi-fight deal, high priced, something going on, bro. Because the WBO, they jumping involved, and they like, yo, we gonna make this fight for the WBO interim. Meaning that if Sebastian Fundora, Earl Spence winner, don't fight Terence Crawford or some shit, they could get stripped. Then the WBC, they say that ain't good enough. Shit, we trying to get in the fold too. So we got this WBO championship fight between Fundora and Spence. As of right now, it's a WBC championship fight, but rumors are circulating that Fundora could get stripped for fighting Spence. But as of right now, it's a unification fight for the WBC, WBO, until they either strip Fundora or see what the hell going on with him. But either way, you got them fighting for the WBC for sure. And what did the WBC just do? They put Terence Crawford and Madrimov as also a WBC final eliminator. Yet again, a sanctioning body doing some shit that I've never seen them do before. I've never seen. And again, put it in the comment section if you've seen it. And correct me if I'm wrong, bro. I'm not perfect. I'm not above reproach. But I've never seen a sanctioning body in the WBC allow for a final eliminator to take place where the people are also fighting for another belt in a completely different sanctioning body, bro. So you got two sanctioning bodies willing to put secondary status, mandatory status on the line for fighters when those fighters are fighting for a whole nother belt in the other sanctioning bodies. Usually they remove you from their rankings altogether. If you're in the WBC rankings and you getting ready to fight for a WBA belt, they take you out their rankings. If you in the WBO rankings and you getting ready to fight for another belt, they take you out their rankings. All of them behave the same way. Once you become a world champion in the sanctioning body, typically they take you out the rankings of all the other sanctioning bodies, and you just a champion of that one sanctioning body. But in the case of Crawford and Madrimov, you got the WBC saying, yeah, we'll make it a final eliminator. What? You got the WBO saying, yeah, we'll put our interim WBO belt on the line. What? And we know they ain't doing it for Madrimov. Like, let's just keep it 100. He ain't a name. Damn good fighter. Tough ass fight for Terence Crawford. Don't get it twisted. It's a tough fight, a good fight. Of all the current champions, I think he the best one. You got Fundora, you got Murtazaliev, you got Madrimov. I think Madrimov is better than both of those fighters. Fundora probably wouldn't even beat Tim Tszyu if not for that cut over his forehead. And Bertan Murtazaliev damn near got his ass stopped by Kolke. 38 years old Jack Kolke, who was coming up from smaller fucking division. So them dudes ain't impressive at all. But Madrimov is not nasty with it. He nice. That's gonna be a good fight, bro. Real talk. That's a damn good fight. So we know they're not doing it for him, though, with 10 professional fights. We know this is all for Terence Bud Crawford. And it could all be for the PBC, who we know clearly wants to do business with Terence Bud Crawford. But maybe they don't want to put up the fighters that he wanted them to put up. So now you see them positioning Erickson Lubin to get the shot at Murtazaliev for the IBF. You see them position Jermell Charlo as Terence Crawford's mandatory in the WBA. To me, this shit gonna come down to how do the sanctioning bodies decide whose mandatory is up first? How are they gonna decide this shit? Because you got the WBO, they want their mandatory and Terence Crawford to get his shot at Fundora. And if Fundora don't fight him by December, they ready to strip him. You got the WBC putting him in a final eliminator to be the mandatory for Fundora and Spence winner. But then you got the WBA putting Jermell Charlo as the mandatory for Terence Crawford and Israel Madrimov. Who gets they shot at the mandatory shit first? Is it the WBO, the WBA, then the WBC? Is it the WBO, then the WBC, then the WBA? How does all this shit play out? And then the other part is the Canelo Alvarez of it all. They making all these moves for Terence Crawford to be all these people's mandatories at 154 pounds. What if he gets the Canelo fight? What if he beats Madrimov? Canelo has his fight in September. Wins his fight in September. And then Terence Crawford and Canelo gets made at the end of the year in December in his USA-Mexico card that they rumoring, or in January in his USA-Mexico card that they rumoring. Then what? Does he still get to move up to 168, fight Canelo, still keep his belt, still be all these people mandatories and shit? How does that work? Because when Jermell Charlo moved up to fight Canelo Alvarez, they fucking stripped him immediately. He couldn't walk in the ring. The moment he walked in the ring, run them belts. Then a week after the fight, run that belt too. Then run that belt too. Then run that belt too. Are they gonna do Terence Crawford the same way? Or is they gonna show him favoritism and make shit move in his favor? And this all brings me back to my point and why I say the takes age like fine wine. Are y'all sure y'all still putting importance on these belts? Because they mean different things to different people. The sanctioning bodies bend they rules with their belts and their rankings and shit whenever they see fit. Whenever they see some money involved. Whenever they see that they have an opportunity to get in. The WBCC, Madrimov and Crawford shit, we won't in on that. Final eliminator. But say, bro, you ain't never did that shit before. They fighting for a whole nother belt in the WBA. We don't care. Final eliminator. WBO, like, yeah. Hey, man, shit. Super champion, shit. We gonna put our interim on the line for him. But say, bro, you know he ain't gonna be ready to fight by December anyway. He fighting in August. He don't fight. They close. They don't give a fuck. Shit. Hey, we stripping Fundora. Fundora don't fight him by December. But Crawford won't even be ready to fight by December, bro. Don't matter. Don't matter. We won't in on this. So it's very confusing and it's very inconsistent. And that's my problem with it all. Now, as a fight fan, I think Terence Crawford having the opportunity to go for 3-time undisputed in 3 different weight classes, I think it's great for the sport of boxing. So I'm not knocking that at all. I ain't got no problem with that, no issue with that. Right? My issue will be is if they allow him, after doing all of this shit, he go to a completely different weight class, get the Canelo Alvarez fight in the 154-pound division, it's just forced to wait on him. When these same sanction bodies didn't give Jermell Charlo that same opportunity. That will be my issue. That will be my problem, and that's what I don't like about all this shit. And plus, Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is a clown show of a fight. Other fighters deserve that fight over Terence Crawford. Just because his fans think he can walk on water don't mean he deserved the fight. There's plenty of people that put in work at 168 pounds that deserve that shot. And they not going to get the shot because fight fans all of a sudden act like weight classes don't exist for a reason and that they're not important. But I was talking to a homie behind the scenes earlier, and I leave it at this. Terence Crawford is going to be the man to make y'all forget that weight classes matter. Because y'all believe in him with this Canelo fight. He's making everybody forget that weight classes matter. And by the time you get reminded that they do matter, it's going to be too late because it's going to be on the night of the fight. And Canelo Alvarez is going to remind y'all ass that weight classes matter for a reason, bro. Remember I said this shit. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Comment below, smash the like, sub to the channel. See y'all soon. Peace out.